This is a gentle reminder for you that you are always one decision away from a completely different life. Even if that decision scares you so much, your entire body goes cold. You can always begin again. You can always let go of everything you choose and choose again. There's always an option. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to grow. And in fact, you were supposed to. Right? You didn't make a wrong turn. You just didn't learn the lesson you were meant to know. And without that knowing, you cannot move forward. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already designed our life the way it is. He's going to inflict upon us difficulties and tests and hardships just so we can grow. Look, the person who went through the most difficulties in this life is Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and yet who is the person who grew the most? Who is the person who was able to hold all of those challenges, and who is the person who will be praised the most on the day of judgment? Who is the person who's going to own the station of praise on the day of judgment? It is the person who was tested the most in this life. That is the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahu Akbar. Look around and ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Whatever hardship that is being inflicted upon you, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to show me? Where is this discomfort trying to lead me? And what is it trying to tell me? Right? Appreciate the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we count the blessings of Allah versus the difficulties that He inflicts upon us, Allahu Akbar, we can only count around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 problems. And the blessings, even if we count it, we'll never get done counting. Allahu Akbar. We'll never be able to count the oxygen that we breathe, our ability to see, our ability to live, our ability to walk, and having the clothes to wear and water to drink, and every single thing. There is always something to be grateful about, only if we just reflect right? So remember that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ma yuridillahu bihi khayran yusib minhu." Whoever wants to be given goodness by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will test him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to inflict upon him difficulties and challenges and those hard, tough life lessons. So it's going to be, it's all about, remember that diamonds are formed under pressure. And Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, before, throughout his lifetime, he went through so much pressure, so much challenges, so much difficulties. And yet, again, who owns the station of praise on the day of judgment? Right? So be patient. Always constantly be patient and always reflect. Reflect on the challenges and the difficulties that you have, because most of the time they are good for you. Remember that, my dearest sister. But remember that beneath that anguish, beneath that problem, that heartbreak, that anxiety, that difficulty is your joy. It's your love. It's your life. It is there. This is what this dunya is about. It is about living. It is about living with difficulties, passing through those challenges with faith. And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with Islam. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides us through with this religion. And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to us the Quran and the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which are mercy among us. Mercy for us, mankind, to warn us of what is about to come and to inform us of the truth and to remind us of truly who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is and who we are as His slaves and how we should live our lives in this world. Right? Your life, it's been there all along, but the hurt that you're feeling right now, it's just temporary. So you don't want to get drowned in it. You don't want to get dragged down the hole of that pain. You want to lift up the pain and carry it with your life, regardless of how heavy it is, regardless of how deep and how dark it is. Carry it with your life. But you can only have this strength when you have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you have patience, and you can only have the genuine patience through the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Remember that you are trapped beneath the weight of your untapped potential. You can grow, my dearest sister. That challenge, that difficulty is there because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that you can handle it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not inflict you with difficulty if He knows you cannot be able to handle it. It means Allah is looking up to you. Allah knows your potential while you do not. And that is why Allah is trying for you to tap on your untapped potential so that you may grow, so that you may become the person that Allah wants you to be. Right? So that you may become the person that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more and more. And so that you may live better in this life. You become stronger. And you may have the station, the place in Jannah. And only people with righteous patience can only attain that. Right? That alone, knowing that, should give you solace already. It's not ever too late to feel everything you ever wanted to feel, to experience anything you ever desired. The peace of mind, the heartfelt energy, the inspiration, it's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you want to have the kind of life with the happiness that cannot be measured by the material things, the happiness that is unbothered by anything at all, the contentment, everything, the desire away from the worldly desire, the genuine desire, you can only have it when you have faith when you have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Remember that your potential never escapes you as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not allow it to. Remember not to waste any of time. Remember not to waste any of the pain that you were experiencing. You take advantage of the pain, of the trial, of the difficulty to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is a form of bond that Allah is giving you an opportunity to be closer to Him. Allah is inviting you. Allah is, letting you go through this so that you can seek His help and not the people's help. Remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful, and He is the all-wise, and He hears you, and He knows your heart inside out. So even if there's no words for you to describe your feelings, just cry it out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He knows, He understands. Use these difficulties, these trials and challenges to elevate your status, because you can only elevate your status with patience, with the right faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why we are tested. We are tested either for Allah to elevate us or for Allah to drag us down. But believe me, everything that Allah does is something that is good for us. It's only dependent on our actions, whether we let it drag us down or we let it lift us up. It is truly up to us. So remember to take advantage of the pain, of the trial, of the difficulty to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, regardless of how painful that is. That is not the end of anything at all. It is not the end. Have faith in Allah, and only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, only by being close to Allah, only by pouring your heart out to Allah can you attain the peace of mind. Can you attain the kind of happiness that you never had in this world. It's the kind of bliss of wanting to see the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in paradise. Allahu Akbar. It is promised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He will reveal Himself to us in Jannah. And who does not want that? Right? It is the kind of happiness, the kind of excitement that no people of this world experience unless they are believers. So be a believer. If anything you can be in this world, be a believer. Be the slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because that is the most beautiful thing that you can be.